In this video, I'm going to show you how you can build an AI email assistant that's going to save you hundreds of hours. It can automatically draft replies, it can schedule appointments, it's going to unsubscribe from annoying newsletters for you. It can also add tasks to any task manager that you use. So let's jump in. So we're going to be building this in Lindy. If you've not used Lindy before, it's an incredibly easy to use platform for building automation workflows that have AI agents as part of the steps. So if you've used something like Zapier or Make in the past, it's a similar kind of idea. But where those tools tend to be quite rigid and rule-based, like when this happens, do this, then that, Lindy's a bit more flexible because we can have AI agents making decisions throughout the process. And this makes it a really good tool for the use case of inbox management where we need to have the AI making certain decisions that aren't clearly rule-based. That'll become a little bit clearer later on as we go through this. So in this video, I'm going to start by just going over this at a very high level, what's going on here, just so you can kind of understand kind of big picture what we're doing. Then I'm going to go through it step by step, and I'm going to share a link to this exact workflow in the description below. So if you like, you can copy it and then go through and get it all kind of hooked up for yourself. Okay, so let's break this down. The core functionality of this workflow is actually pretty straightforward. Essentially, when an email lands in our inbox, we work out if it needs a response, and if so, the AI will go and write a draft reply for us. It's not going to send it automatically. You could turn that on, but in this case, I'm just having it save a draft that I can go and hit send on. So I've made 6 major changes to that to kind of improve it, give it a bit more functionality. The first thing we're doing is we're filtering out spam so we don't use up credits writing emails to newsletters and random emails. The second thing we're doing is automatically unsubscribing from newsletters and spammy emails to try and keep the inbox clean. So how this works is if it's a newsletter, it's got an unsubscribe link, we fire up a computer which is going to extract the unsubscribe URL, and it's then going to go to that URL and fill out any forms, click any buttons that are required for it to unsubscribe. So this is a new feature in Lindy. It's pretty intelligent and really, really good for this use case. The next thing we're doing is archiving. So to help us kind of stay at inbox 0, any emails that don't require us to do anything, it's going to archive them to keep us at inbox 0. The next feature I've added is the ability to add tasks. So if an action is required, regardless of if we respond or don't respond to the email, it's going to add that action as a task, in this case, to Todoist. You could have this added to Notion, GitHub, whatever you use for your to-do list. The next feature I've added is the ability to adopt my writing style. So I've given it access to this sent section of my inbox, so it can analyze the last 50 emails that I've written and use that as the basis for my tone and writing style. So it ensures that the draft it writes matches my tone. And the last major thing that I've changed here is I've given it the ability to do some scheduling. So if, for example, it's an email asking to do a meeting or have a call, it can go to my Google Calendar, see when I'm available and suggest some times that would work. You could just include Calendly or something like that, but I wanted to kind of add it, do it this way. So that's what we've got going on at a high level. Now what we're going to do is kind of go through each of these stages individually and talk through how they're set up and what changes you might make to get this up and running. So let's start at the top. Okay, so this workflow gets triggered when we receive an email that arrives in the inbox. The only thing worth saying here is that you should probably add a filter on this, because if you don't, hypothetically, if you got 1,000 emails one day, it's going to run this 1,000 times and blow up your credits. So ideally add some kind of filter here. The next thing we're doing is we're filtering out spam. Now, this took a little bit of tweaking to get this right. I've got it set quite aggressive here. You might want to tweak it a little bit, but I found that without having a spam filter at the top, I was getting a lot of emails. It was writing responses to a lot of emails that really didn't need responses. It was a particularly big problem with outbound sales emails where people were writing them in a way as if we'd been in contact before or that I knew them when I obviously didn't. And so it was kind of tricking the algorithm. So I've got this pretty aggressive spam filter, which is saying like only write a response if this is absolutely legit and definitely not trying to sell me some kind of service or using like obvious markers that it's a sales email. So if it is marked as spam, we unsubscribe. Again, this works for me. You might not want to auto unsubscribe. You may want to give it a list of newsletters that you don't want to unsubscribe from. But in my case, I'm just saying, go for it, unsubscribe. So if the email contains an unsubscribe link or opt out, remove me, etc., we want to try and unsubscribe. And how we're doing this is we're firing up a computer and giving an agent access to that computer. And the agent is being instructed to unsubscribe from the newsletter, extract the unsubscribe link from the email content, visit it using the computer, and complete any unsubscribe process. Click buttons, fill out forms, be thorough, but make sure the unsubscribe is completed. Then finally, we're archiving the email. So this whole side of the workflow is basically just trying to keep the inbox clean, unsubscribe from newsletters that we don't really want to have access to, and just try and keep us at inbox 0. So this is the cleansing side. Now, if an email is not spam and it goes down this side of the workflow, the first thing that we do is we have a condition that works out if it requires us to respond or not. So it may not be spam, it may just be some notification email from our banking or something that we want to have it, but we don't need to respond to it. So if no response is needed, then the next thing we do is we work out, do I need to take any action with this? If yes, so here, just go down here if it requires action. If action is required, I'm adding it to my task manager. So in my case, this is Todoist. I'm just letting AI kind of fill out all the fields. But if no action is required, then we go down this way and essentially it goes straight down to archiving that email. If a response is required, the first thing is it's going to analyze the writing style. So I mentioned earlier, so it's actually got access to the last 30 emails that I've sent. The alternative here, if you're not comfortable giving Lindy access to your emails, is you could give it access to a knowledge base. So you can click here, search knowledge base, and you could just give it a text file or upload a file of some email content or some content that you've written to give it an idea of your writing style. I recommend them being emails because how you write a blog post, how you write other forms of content might be quite different to how you respond to emails. So ideally they will be actual email replies. But yeah, in my case, not using a knowledge base, we're just analyzing it straight from the inbox. Then we've got this condition asking, is there any indication in the email that there's scheduling happening? Is it about a call or a meeting? If so, we then check the Google Calendar. I've given it some information here about I prefer to have my meetings in the afternoons. I only work on Tuesdays to Fridays. Given it some preferences so that it knows if it's got some options of times to suggest, it picks ones that are most convenient for me. You can change this, you can add your preferences, kind of make it fit whatever works for you. But it's going to go and do that. And then if this is kind of the meat, so this is the prompt that we've given it to write our email response. And this is where I would kind of focus most of the effort, because this is ultimately the thing that's going to save you the most time, is how good are the pre-written draft replies. Now there's a few things that I've done here. So the first thing is I've asked it to analyze my writing style using previous written emails, write in British English, don't use emojis, hashtags, and avoid promotional language. So basically just make it sound like I've actually written the email. The next thing is I've asked it to give me both a kind of acceptance and a rejection email. So if someone is, for example, giving me a proposal or suggesting meeting, I want to have two emails written. I want to have one that's basically my yes, let's go ahead, and one which is my no email. That's going to save me email because I don't want it to just write me one saying yes, let's meet up if I actually don't really want to meet up. So I'm getting two options. As I say, you can make tweaks to this. You can add your signature and yeah, kind of play around with that. But that's what's working for me. So next, what I'm going to do is run through a couple of tests so you can see this in action, see how it works, and then we'll talk very briefly about a few other tweaks that you might want to make to this. So there's a couple of ways we can test this. If you're building this along with me, I'd recommend click the test button in the top right corner and select an email that you want to go ahead and test with. What you'll probably notice is that after doing this with 5, maybe 10 emails, you'll notice some emails get miscategorized and they get sent to the wrong actions. You'll need to then kind of go and tweak the prompts, change the conditions slightly to make sure things get categorized in the right buckets and the right paths based on what you want. Because bear in mind, I've written this based on what works for me. Some things might be a bit too aggressive. They might be not quite fine-tuned in a way that works for you. So you'll need to make a few adjustments so that all the emails are kind of going where you would hope they go. Now for me, because this is in production, this is a workflow that I actually use, instead of going through the test process, I'm just going to go to my task list. So I sent myself a kind of test email earlier, but I can see that this has done everything it should. So it's categorized that it's not spam, that it requires a response, it's picked up my writing style, realized that scheduling is needed, checked my calendar availability, and then it's gone ahead and written a draft response, which I can see here. So it's actually suggested a couple of venues and a time that I am available. So this is pretty good. The only criticism I would say is if you remember in that prompt, I told it to give me both an acceptance and a rejection response. So if I didn't want to meet for lunch, I could just kind of use the rejection one and say like, no, I'm not available at that time. So that's the only criticism I've had there. I don't know if it's because the AI has picked up on the fact that it's coming from me. Maybe it's assuming that it will, I'll accept it. But otherwise, that's basically gone exactly how I would have hoped that would go. If we take another example, I don't know, maybe this domain renewal reminder. So I've got an expiring domain. So I would expect that I don't need to respond to this because it's transactional email, but I do need to do something about it. I need to take an action. So I can see in my to-do-list that it has added a task for that. So this seems to be working, and I know from having this live for a little while that this is basically doing exactly what I hoped. So I'm pretty happy. But as with all workflows, this is dynamic. It's going to constantly be evolving and changing. If I do make any major changes, I will add I'll keep this one as is, but I'll create a new one and I'll link it in the description, so you can kind of use like this original one or the new and improved one. But that is pretty much it. In terms of other little tweaks that you might want to consider making to this, so some people, I don't really use labels in my email account, but some people do use labels quite heavily. So that's definitely something you could add a sort of, when an email's received, you could label it, and then based on the label, you could then sort of take the different actions rather than having these kind of different tiers of conditions. I think that could potentially be a lot tidier, but I just personally don't really like using labels in Gmail. We talked about adding a knowledge base. And then the other sort of significant area where you could build this out and develop it is just giving adding an agent and giving it access to more tools. So off the back of an email, we've given it the ability to go and check calendar availability, but there's no reason why it couldn't potentially have access to your CRM, to your website, and go and make changes off the back of email responses. So you could make this incredibly intelligent, and instead of adding everything as a task to your to-do list, your task manager, you could actually have it first attempt to try and do those tasks. I'll maybe look at that in a future video. That's not one for this video, but just to give you a little bit of an idea of how you could potentially build this out. So if you want to know more about Lindy, then I'd recommend watching this video next, where I've done a bit more of a deep dive into some of the different features. We look at the voice AI. I think I create a customer support line for a sausage company, which is strange, but cover a little bit more detail of all the different features and what you can do in Lindy. Otherwise, I hope that's been useful, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.